Howdy all you Yuulo crowd. And well, here we go again in Studio 11 where my regular guest Jaysella is here in the chair.
Howdy yourself. How's it going?
All good. And what a brilliant nap you gave us all on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, Barney. That race was set up for Hamish all day long, and I think today it's worth a little time talking about how the serious gamblers go about their business, as that race was very much a case in point.
Okay, Jace, I'm really interested to hear about that.
Yep, we'll take a deep dive into their thinking, but there's also some other things to get to grips with this week as the flat season comes to an end, and it's all about the national hunt from here on. And of course, all roads lead to Cheltenham for the festival in March. So with the autumn meeting just a few weeks away, I think it's time to look at the players for the 2025-26 season.
Yeah, sounds good to me, but anything coming up this weekend so that I can put some extra in the Christmas fund after that great tip on Hamish?
Sure, we should be looking at the Charlie Hall at Wetherby, which to me, Barney, has always marked the start of the national hunt season proper, and this year's a cracker of a renewal. So, of course, there's going to be a bit of weather about before then. But I do like the appeal of Paul Nichols's Pick Dorry, who seems to have moved on a bit since the wind up in July of last year. And although he does seem to save his best for Ascot, I'll take the chance that he's good enough to win this on Wetherby's flat track with good ground in the forecast. But, and it's a big but, this looks one hot field, so Pick Dorry is going to have to be at his very best, giving weight away to the likes of Dan Skelton's Protectorate and Shark Hanlon's Hewick. Now, it's taken on trust that he is going to act on this track, bringing some of that Ascot form to Wetherby, but he has won first time out for the winter campaign 3 years running, so I'll take my chance.
Okay, going to look that one up, Jace. Anything else on your mind?
Well, Barney, let's talk about trainer form, because that comes into the equation too when I go back to discuss betting strategies, so I reckon it's Dan Skelton that you should earmark this year. Last season, he came very close to taking that champion trainer title from under Willie Mullins' nose, and it went down to the Grand National Meeting for Willie to win it. The first time an Irish trainer's done that for 70 years.
Wow. Some achievement then.
Yeah, for sure. Historic, of course. But you know what we think of Willie Mullins here in the office.
Yeah, I know you hold him in the highest esteem, right?
Just the best national hunt trainer of his generation, and I know we've copped some comments before about being a bit obsessed with old Willie, but the proof's in the pudding, as they say, year after year. He's right at the top of his game, but Dan Skelton has been better every season, and one day aims to sit at the top of the tree, believe me.
Okay, I heard it here first, right?
Probably not Barney, it's well known in the industry, and with brother Harry #1 jockey, it's a formidable partnership, really is.
Okay, Jays. And the deep dive into the serious gamblers.
Yeah, let's take a look at how to use form to get the best out of your investments. And let's take Hamish's win in the St Simon Stakes as our example. Now, Hamish won at an SP of 7-2. And what the boss told me to think about this is to say that in 7 runnings of the race against the same oppo on the same track and going, Hamish would win 2 of those. If you think he would win 3 out of the 7, or even would win twice in 6 runnings, then the odds look in your favour.
How come?
Because Barney, if you know the previous form, with the going always weighted to count as the biggest factor, you're going to overtime win the percentages.
And how do I read the form, Jace?
Okay, it's not as difficult as you'd imagine, but the ground is always the biggest factor. I mean, Olympic sprinters aren't known for winning cross-country races, right? Extreme example, I know, but it's the same principle with horses. So the going, followed by the trip, and whether the fancy always runs well at a particular track, you know, horses for courses, followed by trainer form, because yards with recent winners produce more winners. Well, it's all a bit cyclical, really. And also, sometimes there's a notable jockey booking. And this is especially in the bigger races, which obviously is our bag, because we cover all the championships races, festivals, you know, the prestige handicaps.
Right, Jace. I'm kind of getting the picture. I suppose these days you've got the serious punters using AI to factor all this stuff in, right?
Yep, sure, some of them do. But you know, there is a caveat to that, because gut instinct is still irreplaceable. Irreplaceable, in my playbook anyway.
Okay, I suppose that's just years and years of experience, is it?
I'm not that old, Barney.
Soz, nothing meant.
It's okay just joking, yeah? But there's a bit more depth than just using AI to look at all the previous form. And for that, I'm going to look at Marie-Francois's Sunday selection for the Prix Royal Oak.
Why is that, Jace?
Well, Barney, AI for mapping out future results is totally dependent on past performances. But there's an element in racing where a horse is what we'd call unexposed. And that's exactly what came to pass on Sunday, as Marie-Francois predicted.
Sure, let me in on the thinking, Jace.
OK, she suspected, and rightly so, that Arrow Eagle for Jean-Claude Rouget would be better at this longer trip. And spot on, she was our brilliant French tipster. And you ain't going to get that using AI. I mean, let's face it, when all the uni students get lazy and use AI for their essays and dissertations, they'll all end up with the same indistinguishable work. So then, what's the point of the whole education thing?
Yeah, I get that.
So my point is, it's not all about past performance, but what might happen, and that's where you need the instinct.
Right, Jace, I'm taking all of this forward and going to use that this weekend.
Well, good luck. But if you do apply the theory, take in all that stuff and still can't decide, just walk away, live to fight another day. You ain't wasted anything but your time for looking.
Yep, got you there, Jace.
So, just to finish off, we are a bit specialist in what we do, not one of those big outfits that's got every race every day. So that gives us a bit more of an in-depth look into those big races. And of course, that shows in our strike rate.
Yeah, I know that's one of the best around, right?
Yeah, Barney, but we are selective because we can afford to be okay. It's our operation. We're not beholden to anyone. Truly independent comment, always free, there for you, for the very best of festival and championship horse racing in Britain, Ireland, France, and Hong Kong.
Jaysella, that's been a fantastic catch-up and a most instructive podcast. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, be my pleasure, young man, and good luck on Saturday.
Great ciao for now.
Yeah, ciao for now, Barney.